in a small town on the outskirts of Seoul, where spring always arrives with the scent of cherry blossoms and autumn scatters golden leaves across school sidewalks. This story begins. Jiwon and Kang Minjae had known each other since high school. They sat at the same desk in Korean literature class, shared notebooks, exchanged quiet laughter while the teacher explained old poems, and kept simple secrets that only teenagers could have. No one ever spoke the word love between them, but everyone knew there was something more than friendship, something hanging in the air, light yet never truly falling to the ground. Jiwon was a girl with a gentle smile and eyes that always seemed to be thinking far ahead. She dreamed of becoming a book editor, loving words that could heal the small wounds of life. Minjae, on the other hand, was a man full of energy, dreaming of becoming an indie musician and often carrying his guitar wherever he went. They were different, yet they complemented each other. Every day after school, they walked home together along narrow streets lined with tteokbokki stalls, sharing a single cup of soda and talking about the future as if time were something endless. But like many stories of youth, courage was always defeated by fear. Minjae was afraid of ruining the friendship he valued more than anything, while Jiwon was afraid that her feelings would not be returned. So they kept those emotions tightly sealed, like letters never sent. When graduation arrived, they stood side by side in the schoolyard, promising to stay close even as their life paths began to branch apart. The years passed, and Seoul became a witness to their changes. Jiwon entered a prestigious university in Hongdae, immersing herself in the world of publishing and late-night literary discussions. Minjae chose a more winding path, playing music in small cafes around Itaewon, chasing his dreams with a courage that was sometimes fragile. They rarely met, yet text messages and late-night calls remained their lifeline. Whenever one of them faced failure, the other was always there not as a lover, but as the friend who understood best. One rainy night, after years of not seeing each other, they finally sat face to face in a small cafe they used to frequent. Rain streaked the windows, and the sound of falling drops seemed to accompany the awkward silence between them. Jiwon now looked more mature, while Minjae carried a weariness he could not hide. Their conversation flowed slowly, touching on trivial things, then unknowingly drifting toward old memories about dreams, about promises yet unfulfilled. In the middle of that conversation, Jiwon realized something both bitter and comforting. Her feelings for Minjae had not completely disappeared. She still felt at ease, still wanted to protect that man's smile. Yet she also knew that life had carried them in different directions. Minjae, on the other hand, looked at Jiwon with the same emotional love that had never fully bloomed. Trapped between the words almost and what if, they did not confess anything that night. There was no dramatic declaration, no tears falling onto the cafe table. There was only a quiet awareness that they had chosen this path to be almost lovers, but always friends. And perhaps, for them, that was enough. Time moved on again. Jiwon finally landed her dream job at a major publishing house, while Minjae began to gain recognition in the Korean indie music scene. They continued to be present in each other's important moments. The launch of Jiwon's first edited book, Minjae's small concerts filled with audiences. Every time their eyes met in the crowd, there was a smile holding 1,000 meanings: longing, pride, and acceptance. On one autumn afternoon, they walked together along the Han River, fallen leaves accompanying their steps. Jiwon let out a soft laugh, saying that life did not always turn out the way she had planned. Minjae nodded, admitting the same. They paused for a moment, gazing at the sky as it slowly turned orange, and for the first time felt at peace with all the almost in their lives. Perhaps they were not a love story with a happy ending like in Korean dramas. They never became a couple holding hands in public or promising forever. But between laughter, tears, and the passing years, they found another form of loved one that did not demand, did not bind, yet remained faithful. And in a city that continued to change, among millions of human stories, Han Jiwon and Kang Minjae kept walking side by side in their own way. Almost lovers, always friends, a story about feelings never fully possessed, yet never truly lost.